Please note that I filmed this before opening day, so anything I say between now and then could change. There's no better cure for another postseason Bengals meltdown than Reds baseball, and with opening day just around the corner, let's take a look at their 2016 campaign and how I think they'll do. Let's start with the roster. A lot has changed since the Reds' glory days of this decade. Todd Frazier and Aroldis Chapman are no longer Redlegs, and Jay Bruce and Brandon Phillips could both end up traded to other teams before the season's over. The only locks from the glory days of the Reds to be on this year's roster are Joey Votto and Homer Bailey. They do have a lot of young talent though. Zach Kozar and Devin Mesoraco are looking to bounce back from injuries they had last season, and Raisel Iglesias could cement himself as the next ace of the rotation this year. Speaking of the rotation, other guys such as Lamb, Finnegan, Lorenzen, Moscott, and DeSclafani all look to factor into the rotation this year in some way, shape, or form. The bullpen, on the other hand, is a mess. Last year's bullpen struggled a lot, and this year's does not look to be better. With Chapman gone as the closer, J.J. Hubert looks like to be the lock for the closer role for the Reds this year. Unfortunately though, he has a reputation for blowing games, and it could only be a matter of time before someone else fills the closer position. When it comes to hitting, this team looks to be pretty solid on paper, at least. Joey Votto was scorching last year, Brandon Phillips had a decent season, as did Eugenio Suarez, who really made a name for himself at the plate. Hopefully Zach Kozar continues to progress, as he had a banner season at the plate last year before he got hurt, and hopefully Devin Mesoraco is able to return to his 2014 ways. There are some question marks though, as Billy Hamilton has struggled for 2 years in a row in place as a leadoff hitter. He has struggled a lot, and he can't steal first base, so hopefully he can learn how to hit and become the leadoff batter that the Reds have always hoped he would be. Another big question mark is Jay Bruce. He struggles hitting into the shift, and 9 times out of 10, he will hit right into it. He has a lot of power, but until he adjusts to hitting into the shift, look for him to have another bad year at the plate. So how does the division look for the Reds? Unfortunately, not good. It is loaded with talent. The St. Louis Cardinals are always contenders for the World Series. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in the middle of a renaissance, and the Chicago Cubs have climbed out of the basement into legit World Series contenders. It looks to be a rough season. In the end though, how do I think this team will finish? Well, I don't think they will lose 100 games like many people seem to think, but I do think they'll finish with a record of 72-90 and miss the playoffs for the 3rd straight season. It's going to be a long year. However, I'm still going to root for this team. I love the Redlegs and I always will, and who knows, this could be a miraculous season and it could prove me and the rest of the critics wrong. Go Redlegs!